What if the moon crashed into Earth? Not a near miss, not a flyby, full collision. What would actually happen? The answer starts much earlier than you'd expect. Here is the first thing to understand. The moon is not staying put. Right now, at this moment, the moon is drifting away from Earth at about 3.8 centimeters per year, roughly the rate your fingernails grow. It has been doing this since it formed. To put the moon on a collision course, something would need to dramatically reverse that trend. A large asteroid impact on the moon, a close pass from a massive object, or some other gravitational disruption could do it. For this scenario, something did. The moon is now heading toward Earth. The disaster does not begin at impact. It begins months before. As the moon draws closer, its gravitational influence on Earth intensifies. The tides, already driven by the moon's gravity, begin growing. At normal lunar distance, tides on open ocean average about half a meter. As the moon closes in, tidal forces scale with the inverse cube of distance. Halve the distance, and the tidal force increases eightfold. The oceans begin responding accordingly. 3 months out, coastal flooding becomes severe and permanent. Tidal ranges in some locations climb to tens of meters. Low-lying coastlines worldwide are simply gone. The moon is now visibly larger in the sky than it has ever been in recorded history. 1 month out, the situation has escalated beyond any historical precedent. Tidal forces are now strong enough to stress Earth's crust directly. Earthquake frequency and magnitude begin increasing globally. Volcanic systems that were dormant begin activating. The ocean tides are now so extreme that water is being driven hundreds of kilometers inland in tidal surges twice daily. The moon fills a significant portion of the sky. 1 week out, the planet is unrecognizable from the surface. Tidal heating, the same process that drives volcanic activity on Jupiter's moon Io, begins occurring in Earth's mantle. The crust is being flexed so severely that new fault lines are opening. Tsunamis are now a continuous rather than episodic phenomenon. The atmosphere itself is being disturbed by the tidal forcing, creating storm systems of unprecedented scale. Anyone still on the surface is experiencing what no human has experienced before. 1 day out, the Roche limit is crossed. The Roche limit is the distance at which a celestial body held together only by its own gravity begins to break apart under tidal forces. For a rigid, rocky body like the moon, this limit for the Earth-Moon system is approximately 18,000 to 18,500 kilometers from Earth's center. As the moon crosses this threshold, it begins to disintegrate. The outer layers are stripped away first, a cascade of rock and debris that begins raining down on Earth before the main body arrives. The sky is filled with streaks of lunar material entering the atmosphere. Impact events are now continuous across the surface. The main collision arrives at roughly 8 kilometers per second. The energy released is beyond any familiar reference point. The moon contains about 1.2% of Earth's mass. The kinetic energy of the impact is on the order of 10 to the power of 29 joules, roughly equivalent to the sun's total energy output for several minutes. The impact would likely not produce a single crater. At this energy level, both bodies partially vaporize. The collision would generate a magma ocean across the entire surface of Earth.
What remains afterward is something between a planet and a debris disk. The leading scientific model for the moon's origin, the giant impact hypothesis, suggests something remarkably similar happened about 4.5 billion years ago when a Mars-sized body called Theia struck the early Earth. The debris from that collision eventually coalesced into the moon. A moon impact might produce a new ring system, or eventually a new moon, or simply leave Earth as a battered, partially molten world, slowly cooling over millions of years. Earth would survive as a planet. The rock would still be there, but the world that formed on that rock, the oceans, the atmosphere, the 4 billion years of biological history would be gone, reset to zero, starting over. The moon has been drifting away from us for 4.5 billion years. Turns out that was the good news.